Hi guys, it's me, the Big B, and welcome back to another video. Now, in my last video, we were in a little bit of a competition. We got 9 codes for Parabolus 2 to give away. Now, next week, we're going to pick the winners for that. So if you haven't already entered, just nip to that video, like and subscribe, and drop a comment on, and we're going to pick 9 people at random, and you're going to win yourself a copy. Now, at the end of that video, I mentioned on a bit of the negativity within the paranormal field, and I touched upon these certain individuals that are now trying to police the paranormal in a certain way. Now, as you know, if you watched many of my videos a year or two ago, I made a certain amount of videos on certain people that I thought were doing some dodgy things within the paranormal field. And I brought that to light. I told you what they were doing and why I thought it was dodgy, and I put my opinion across. And that's where the line was drawn. I put my opinion, no matter how strongly. I said, this is the individual, this is what they're doing, I believe it's wrong because. But then that was it. Made a few videos as they were doing dodgy things, then that was it. My opinion's out, you either agree with it, you don't agree with it, there you go. But there seems to be a new trend at the minute within the paranormal field. We're getting groups of people that are coming together. Now, I'm not saying all of them don't know what they're talking about. I know some people within these groups have had more experience than others. Now, they tend to be like to call themselves experts, even in these groups. And as you know, I don't believe we can be experts in a field that is almost still completely unknown. We haven't got all the answers. And we still just, as individuals doing things, individuals and groups doing things to bring evidence forward, to try and prove that the afterlife exists, that there is life after death, that the paranormal is real. But we're still in the early stages. It's very, very early yet. So these groups of people are coming together. Now, to what I've seen and the stories I've seen and the first-hand sort of experiences I've had, a lot of these people are not interested in protecting the paranormal, more as the just trying to discredit people. And that's another kind of side trend. People coming into the paranormal that are new, they want to fast track. They don't want to sit for 20 odd years like we have, 30 years, sort of doing what we do to build up evidence, build up credibility, and just, do what we do. They want to fast track. So I believe some of the individuals that's slipping into these so-called groups that are trying to police the paranormal and find out the fakes and the frauds have got no such interest. What they want to do is discredit the people that are doing what they're doing at the minute. I'm not saying every single one. I'm not saying they don't go after some dodgy people, but they're going after, more likely than not, genuine people. And they discredit them, and it's another one out the way. And they're trying to make a name for themselves by doing that within the paranormal field. Now, I may be old-fashioned, but I thought the paranormal field was about collecting evidence, about doing what we do, whether you're into ITC, EVP work, whether you're into visual stuff, whether you're just into general, just ghost hunting in general. We're doing stuff to try and prove the paranormal. And that does not include discrediting someone else to get them out the way so you can make a name for you. Look, I think that person down, so I must be good, I must be clever in the paranormal. That's not how it works, but that seems to be what's happening in these groups. Like I say, I'm not saying everyone in these groups that's their agenda, but there seems to be a lot of people that are joining these groups that is exactly their agenda. Some of the things I've seen is horrendous. They're going after genuine people, and some of them, this is not all of them, because there's certain individual groups and they all have their own way of working. But I've seen some, pardon me, where they ask the person, right, this evidence you've put out on YouTube or whatever, prove it's real. Well, how can I prove it's real? I make a video and I put what evidence I've got, and that's what evidence I've got. You can either believe it, you don't believe it, you don't watch the video, you do watch the video. But as proof, you just got to take my word for it. But these groups, they say, well, if you can't prove it, you're fake. Well, how can I prove it? There's an EVP where you could have faked that. So no matter what the person tries to respond with to say, well, this is real, this was captured then, doing this, no, that could be fake. Because they're not interested in trying to prove the person right and credible. They're out to try and prove the person as a fake. whether they're fake or not. And they take great pleasure, and I've seen them go to amazing lengths to discredit people, literally down to accusing them of some horrible, horrible things that just aren't true. And you know, when you start throwing accusations about like that, not just about whether they're faking the paranormal, so I would stay away from them and I think they're doing this dodgy, which is fair enough. No, they're digging into the private lives. They're putting out on the internet that these people have done horrible crimes or stuff like that to try and discredit the name. It's got nothing to do with trying to prove whether their evidence is real or fake. And that's the scary bit. And the lengths they'll go to is scary. But what I've seen again is where certain groups, they'll go hell bent. But then when that comes back onto them, when people, genuine people like me and many others, look at them and say, hang on a minute, whoa. You know, that's not frigging cool. That's not right. And there's a lot of the wrong attention goes back to them, not the intent, like the attention that they're after, like, look at how great we are, we found a fraud and we must be awesome. They get attacked. And then they sort of like self-implode. It's quite weird to watch. But again, it's all part of the act. They then put out videos and put out statements saying, oh, we've been misrepresented and we've been attacked for no reason, we're just trying to help, and yada, yada, yada. And they make out the victim, but they make out the victim to, again, a Hollywood standard of acting is fantastic. They can be literally on social media one day, absolutely pulling the heart out to the point where you nearly feel sorry for them, but then the next day, they strayed back to what they were doing and attacking and insulting, and it really, as you can see, it winds me up. You're trying to, you're going after people that's been doing this a lot longer than you have, by decades. They know a lot more than what you do. And you're not just trying to discredit them within the paranormal field. You try to destroy the reputation, the character, everything. And how far is too far? I mean, you all know how I feel about Huff and Huff Paranormal. He's done some friggin' dodgy stuff, and I have first-hand experience of what that guy's tried to do. He basically has took people's work, took people's code, called it his own. The friggin' Wonderbox app that he came out with was just the basic code that he took from a group we were learning in, and the code was never meant to be used out in the public. It was just meant to use to learn, and you were supposed to rewrite the code and learn from that, and then make it your own, build around it, which what a lot of us did. That original code doesn't exist anymore because it was just there as a building block to learn. And the apps we're creating today, many of the guys, they've been rewritten from the ground up. They're not even anywhere near the original code, the learning code. But Huff's first app was from a guy who came into the group we were in, just took the basic, learned enough, took the basic code, and he used, because when he used that basic code, he didn't even alter it really in any way, because the reason I found out was when Huff released that first app, and it looked like his portal, and on the screen, the buttons for on and off and sweep rate and stuff was the original buttons that were designed in the test code. And you weren't even supposed to use them buttons. They were just placeholder buttons that you're supposed to change. And all they did was change the background. And it was basically the basic code. Now there's an example for you. I know firsthand that that's what happened, and that was a bit dodgy. So I mention that and I tell people about that. But that's it. I don't dig into Huff's private life and his personal life because I don't care. I don't care about the guy. I'm not angry with the guy himself. I'm angry at what he does and what he's doing on a paranormal level. I don't care what he does in his private life. What he may, people said, oh, he takes drugs, he does this, he does that, he's cheated on. I don't care. I literally don't care. Your private life is your private life. But when you're doing something within the paranormal that's dodgy, I will point it out. And that's the point. These people take it to a whole new level. They don't just want to discredit. If I was in these groups, which I'm not, I wouldn't just stop at saying what I've just said now. I would then try to go into Huff's personal life and try and make up as much dirt as I could and basically pull him down completely and think, but I won't do that. It's not morally right. It's not morally correct. No matter what he's doing within the paranormal field, which is what we deem is wrong, we will point that out. But on a personal level, his personal life's got nothing to do with me, and I won't attack his personal life, just as I would hope that he would not attack anybody else's personal life, which again is a touchy subject, but it's down to each individual. So you kind of get what I'm saying. And my thing is, who gave these people the power to do this, to call themselves, you know, there's loads of names. I'm not going to mention names because you all know. And again, what I said in one of the other videos, if you want to know the the type of people we're talking about, just watch the comments of this video. Because sensible people come and say, oh, enjoyed your video, Brian, that was spot on, mate. Yeah, totally agree. Or some people come and look, I don't really agree with what you're saying, but, you know, thanks for putting it out there. Them's genuine people. The people you're looking for, and the people that generally are the type of people that's in these groups, are the ones that come in on one of the other videos. And I'll give you an example. I made a video a little while ago about free paranormal apps. People who don't want to pay for them, there are some free apps out there that you can use. And people post on the video and say, oh yeah, champion, like, we're fantastic, can you give us any more? And they're generally very nice. And then there's this one guy came on recently, and he's basically, it was all in capital letters. He had to put it in capital letters. And he put it in capital letters, and it was basically, and please, warning, going up, vulgar language, because I've got to say it how he said it, because there's no other way around it. He just said, you are just a cunt. Why don't you fuck off back under the rock you came from and go and watch Most Haunted, because you have no clue what you're talking about. What the hell does that have to do with the fact I'm telling you that you can have a free app? That's not even one of mine. It's a free app from a friend of mine who does lots of free apps. From AppyDroid. I always push AppyDroid's software because I think it's really cool, and he does a lot of free apps. So I was just telling people what's out there. What was wrong with that? The guy attacked my character instantly. He didn't agree or disagree with what I was saying. That was his statement. And my only statement back to him was I put on, well, sir, I'm trying to decide whether, you know, well, actually, how did I put it? I said, you are either a YouTube troll or you are an idiot, or both. And I'm still trying to figure out which. And it was as simple as that. I wasn't angry. I didn't throw anger back because that's what these people are. But that's the mentality of these people. Those are the comments you look for down below. When you see them, that's one of these people. They don't care about what you're saying in the video. They don't care about that you're talking about paranormal. They just attack. They attack your character. They attack instantly. There is no recourse. There is no room for discussion. Bang, straight in. I have never gone on a video in my life and watched someone's video and put a negative comment. I have put a positive comment. If I don't put any comment, if I don't agree with the video, I don't put on, right, you're a friggin' idiot, da, 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 da. No, I just don't watch it. I stopped watching. I don't really sort of agree with that. So I click off. I turn it off. I don't have to attack that person if I don't agree with them. That's their point of view. And even if I was going to put something, I would put, look, mate, I've watched your video. I kind of enjoyed it, but I didn't agree with it. Or, you know, I don't agree with what you're saying. I think, you know, it's this or this or that. I wouldn't just go and instantly fucking attack somebody. And this is what these groups of people do. They instantly attack videos. They instantly attack the people because they're not interested in anything else. They're not interested in the truth. That's the last thing they're interested in. And like what I said, who gave them the power that they seem to think that they have to do this and to kind of police the paranormal in general? Like I said in my last video, we're quite capable of doing that ourselves. We're quite capable of seeing people like Huff and other people we don't agree with and just pointing that out and telling people and things like that. We don't need, and again, it's not just like you're policing the paranormal, it's like a vigilante hunt. And again, if you were after someone genuinely who you know is fake and you are after them and you want to discredit them, you can still do it in a civilized manner. You don't have to basically completely destroy the person's character to do that. All you have to do is point out the truth. All you have to do is tell the truth about that person. And that's all it takes. Like what I did with me Huff. In my videos, I get very animated and very excited, like I do in some of these. But I just put the facts, the truth, what's out there. I don't make shit up and just put it in just for sheer shits and giggles. If I've been told stuff about other people, but if I'm doubtful, I won't say anything on it. I won't elaborate on it. I will just say what I know and say my opinion on what I think. And that's how if it's going to be done, that's how it should be done. And I can guarantee you, there are people more, well, not qualified, I don't want to use the word qualified, but the more people I would think are more suited to doing that sort of thing, who've been doing this a hell of a lot longer than you, who have only got good intentions, that could form groups to do that. If her sole intention is not just to attack. Again, this is not meant to be derogatory. It's truth. Many people within some of these groups have very dubious things going on themselves. Some of them have even admitted on camera that they're on drugs and all friggin' sorts. Some of them you can tell are not quite all plumbed in correct. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not saying that to be derogatory to anyone, but you know, in this field, as we know, you've got to be clear-minded. You've got to be thinking. We don't even investigate. If we investigate, we don't even drink. There is no alcohol allowed before an investigation, because anything that can cloud your mind, your judgment, because when you're doing this, if you come to me and say, I have just witnessed this, I need to know that you have witnessed what you've just witnessed, and that there's nothing that could have influenced your mind to do that, as in drink, and if you're on any heavy medication, I need to know beforehand. You know what I mean? So I know that there could be a chance that there's something influenced what you're seeing and what you're thinking. And some of these people, when you watch the videos that they do, which I do, and you're looking and you're thinking, really? Again, each to their own. If that's what you want to do, then do it. I don't mind when some people say, oh, like he's an alcoholic or he takes drugs. I don't care. That's your personal life. But then when you're trying to tell other people, you know, that, and bring other people down for what they do, what you say they're doing, when you're doing pretty much the same thing, it's kind of hypocritical in a way. And it's just a thing of mine, you know what I mean, when I see people like that. And again, a lot of these people in these groups, they make some outlandish claims. When someone comes to me and they say, which they have, this is genuine, I can command the devil at will, I can make him do my bidding. That's when the conversation ends right there. When people start claiming stuff like that, see, this is these new people that are coming in and they seem to think they can do all this. You can't command the devil. That's like saying you can command God to do your bidding. No, you can't. If there is such a thing as the devil, and there is such a thing as God, and these are the two opposite ends of the spectrum, and the most powerful beings that there actually is of ever, you're not going to sit on a fucking Ouija board and command God to do your bidding, because if you did, you wouldn't be sitting in your flat on your own on a fucking Ouija board or a ghost box getting the devil or God or whatever, whoever the fucker, to bend to your will, because you wouldn't just be sitting in your flat if you could command the most powerful being in the fucking universe. You know what I'm saying. You see where I'm getting at. I'm maybe making a bit light of it as well, but it's true. I've had people sort of saying things like that to us and thinking, no, you can't. You can't even truly command spirit at will. They're not puppets on a friggin' string. As you know, if you could, that means we could go into every location that we film in and we just get instant communication like that. Boom, done, job done, magic. Bring them in. They'd be fucking lined up down the freaking corridor. Spirits, right, who's next? You know it doesn't work like that. We can sit in a location for 3 and 4 hours, sitting, staring at a blank wall. Nothing happening at all. We can shout out to our heart's content. Please come and communicate with us, talk to us. Nothing will happen. They will only communicate if they want to. And it kind of frustrates me. You see, I'm going fucking red just thinking about it. When people do, well, we can command spirit at will, we can make them bend to do what we want, we can make them appear at will. It may seem like that, but it's not. They're not appearing at will. They appear when they want to appear. They communicate when they want to communicate. And as someone who's been doing this for 30 years, if I could command spirit at will, I wouldn't still be sitting here now. We'd be the best paranormal investigators that there ever was. We'd know every single thing there is to know about the afterlife and the paranormal in general, and we don't. We're still just scratching the surface. Because spirit, if you could command them at will, we'd say, right, get down here, tell me that everything there is to know about the paranormal, about what's on the other side, and I'm commanding you to do so, and I want to know so. We don't. And anyone that claims that they do is not telling the whole truth. It's as simple as that, guys. And again, I'm not calling... I will get people commenting on this video saying, yes, but I do, I can, spirits told me. They've maybe told you certain things. But if you come onto this video and you comment down below now and you say, but I can command spirit at will, then why aren't you the greatest paranormal investigator that ever lived? Because you would have all the answers. You would have spirits around you. You could just bring a spirit in right now on video. Bang! Move this object. Make this fly across the screen. Do this. I command you to do that. I command you to appear on camera. I command you to leave a fucking encyclopedia-sized EVP on the EVP record. Never mind just one word. I want 30 minutes of continuous dialogue about what is on the other side of the afterlife. And they don't have that evidence. Because they can't command spirit like that. Sometimes you maybe can ask for spirit to come forward, and they do come forward because they hear and they listen, and if they want to communicate, whether you take that as you've commanded them to come forward and they bend to your will, no, you're sort of more bending to their will because you have to wait till they're ready. They have to want to communicate with you. It's not the other way around. Like I said, if it was, I would be the best paranormal investigator in the world. I would have all the answers, and I don't. I'm still banging my head off this fucking table sometimes, trying to figure it out, getting bits of information through the apps and through EVP sessions and through Ouija board sessions and doing paranormal investigations. We just get little bits here and there. So, no, on that subject. And I know I will get a lot of shit thrown at us by saying things like that, because it does dent some egos, some people who have that ego that I can do this. This is the thing. Just go back 5 minutes of this video and watch it again. You know what I mean? It's when you've got ego and you have ego in this field, you're already doomed to fail. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm the most humble guy, I think. Like I said, I'm still just fumbling around in the fucking dark, trying to understand half of what's going on. We're not even half. When, like I say, we're not even fucking anywhere near scratching the surface. We've got some intriguing bits. We're getting some intriguing stuff, and it's fascinating, the stuff we're getting. And some of the guys in the paranormal field, some of the evidence, some of the tech that they're putting forward, some of the equipment they make, and some of the apps are absolutely amazing. But again, we're just scratching the surface. We haven't even begun to understand truly what happens after you die. And I've even had, as many people will, we've done sessions on Ouija boards on these apps. I've even had family members come through on these things, but they still can't tell me when I ask the question, what is on the other side? We get very vague, very basic answers. It's almost as if they're not allowed to tell us what's on the other side, because you would have thought a family member would say, oh my god, it's this, this, this and this. They give you little bits. Like I say, I'm not saying they don't give anything. Say it's beautiful, or I see this, or I've had spirits say it's a darkness, I'm in a void, but we do get little tidbits of information, and those are the golden nuggets that we have to. But it's almost like we've just been given little tiny bits, years and years and years, and they're still just stitching little bits together. and we still haven't got anywhere near a whole picture. We haven't even got the fucking corner of the picture down here yet, but we still battle on. We still do what we do, but it takes time, and that's what these groups, these so-called paranormal police, as you want to call them, I don't know, they've all got different names, each group. They don't want to do that. They're just on a fast track, they're just on a one-way mission, and it's kind of disappointing. And anyone who's suffered at the hands of these people, you got my sympathy, guys, because I've had some of it. Not, I haven't been attacked like some of you guys, but I've had some, you know, some shit thrown at us, and it's just, something has to change. Something has to change. These people have to stop and just take a step back and think to yourself, you know, is this really how I'm going to get ahead? Is this how I'm going to be remembered? You're only going to be remembered in this field by A, being truthful, being credible, and getting some goddamn amazing evidence. And you're only going to do that not by sitting behind your keyboard attacking people, by going out, by doing something, by investigating, by collecting evidence of your own. Not by taking other people's ideas, taking other people's, you know, taking the glory for what someone else has done. That's not how it's going to happen. You've got to go out and do it yourself. Forget about the drama. All the drama in the paranormal field has to stop. It's like a fucking episode of EastEnders, fucking Dallas, fucking Coronation Street, every fucking soap opera you can think of from every country wrapped up into one. And that's not what it's about. There shouldn't be any drama. We should be all able to work together and help each other, which, like a lot of us do, our work and in close contact with a lot of guys, and we share ideas and things, and we give our opinion. We shouldn't be fighting with each other. It shouldn't be a clamber to see who can get to the top of the tree the quickest, who can be the number one. We should all be heading there together to try and show the world that this is real, that we all just not imagining all this stuff. And the more you fight, the more you fight between each other, the more you fight and the more you try and discredit people, you're not climbing to the top of the tree yourself, you're just damaging the paranormal field, because everybody out there who is not into the paranormal, as in doing it like we do, but enjoys watching it and learn and seeing these things, they're going to stop, because they're just going to think it's a joke. Because if they can't take us seriously as people, and we're just like kids in the playground, you know, picking on each other and all this fucking drama, how can they take anything seriously that we say and we do, and any evidence that we capture? We have to be taken seriously. And how can we, when we've got all these weird claims about what people are supposedly doing and all this infighting? I can count on these hands the amount of people at the minute who are classed as genuine, who I trust, who are doing amazing things within the paranormal field. They either making apps, they collecting evidence using other people's apps or equipment, or they making ghost boxes and making dedicated equipment, and that's their only goal, that's the only focus, is trying to make things for other people to use, for them to be able to gather evidence. And genuine people out there who are gathering that evidence and not interested in the drama. All they want is to, there's the evidence, this is what I've captured. You either believe it or you don't, but there it is. That's all they're interested in. That's all this field should be about. And the sooner this drama stops, and as soon as all this crap stops, the better. Because you're going to damage, if you truly love this field, all you're going to do is damage it. All you're doing is damaging it, and you're going to send us back to the fucking Stone Age. It's took a long time to get the paranormal the way it is today, where people accept it and know and take it seriously, know there's something there. But the rate you're going to set us back, like I say, back to day one, when it was just laughed at and not taken seriously at all. And it's going to be a shame, considering all the hard work that's been done over decades and decades and decades and decades and decades to get it recognised. And it's only going to take a few short years to bring it to its knees and destroy it, to take it back to being just a joke. And it's sad. It's sad, guys. But there you are. That's just my little half rant, half talk, half thing. Like I say again, leave any comments down below, and please, you genuine guys, you keep watching, because it's going to get fascinating down there. Those comment sections are going to light up like a fucking Christmas tree. I know it. And if you agree with what I've said, like and share this video. Get the word out there. Make your own video. Tell you know, the more of us that sit in front of a camera like this and say this stuff, the better. Don't attack, don't think. Again, if you know someone who you think's dodgy, just make a little video and say, look, this is what I think, this is what they do, and this is what I think's wrong. If you disagree with all this drama, make a video about it. But you know, you don't have to attack. Just, you know, get the word out there that we not, you know, come on, Norton, just be Norton starting this, because I've been talking for so long, it's kicked in to do a bleeding background scan, which will not help your video any. You know, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to say like what I have. You know, like, you know, this is all bullshit. It's all wrong. It has to stop. Because there's a lot more of these people coming in every day. For every one that disappears, there's another 10 coming in behind, doing all this stuff. So as genuine people, you know, do, you know, think the same. Get your opinion. Get your point across. Don't be scared. If they attack, like if they attack this video, I'm not going to be scared. Yep, again, like I've said in a lot of videos, you're proving my point for me. For every one person that attacks this video, you're proving my point and pushing my point even further. And that can only help. And again, like I've said in other videos, they can't help themselves. Even if they watch this video right to the end, 30 minutes that it is, and they see what I'm saying, they won't think, oh, I better not comment, because actually I will be proving his point, because I'm just attacking them. No, they'll hit the keyboard. The keyboard warriors will come out in force. And in a situation like this, every negative comment is just as important as the positive ones, if not more so, because they prove the point. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's been one of the longest for a while. I've enjoyed that little rant. Next week, competition winners are getting picked. There'll be no bias. I'm not even going to look through and pick the winners. We're going to get a totally independent person to look through all your comments, and they're going to pick 9 people at complete random. Once the winners are picked, I'll contact you, and then I just need an email address to send the code to, because I don't want to like post it because someone will nick the code. So I'll just need you when the winners are notified. I might even make a little video to name the people that have won, and then you can just send us your email and I'll send you the code. Simple as that, guys, and enjoy. And we'll have another competition. I think we'll definitely have another competition soon. Like I said, maybe Gymnast Box Mark 2, something like that. A few giveaways, just to keep things interesting, and you know, keep it light and fun like it should be. So we'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching, and enjoy, and get out there and get investigating.